Hey, what's up guys, welcome back to another Monster Tunes analysis video. So today we have the bounty on exclusive monster. I'm going to go ahead and let you guys know in this video if this monster is actually worth investing in. So I hope you're all excited. If you are, make sure to drop a like, subscribe. Anyways, it's going to get started. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, Monster Tunes went ahead and uploaded this on Twitter or posted it. Take a look at this. What does one do when all the opponents in your land are unworthy and weak? Take some glitch Ryan and travel into another dimension, of course, or at least that's what this monster did. So take a look at the design. I mean, we've already seen it in the game. Design's pretty cool. I really like the baby form. Look at the baby form. He's like sticking his tongue out. That's kind of cute. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and basically do an analysis on this monster and let you guys know if this monster is actually worth picking up for those guys that haven't already invested in it and we're waiting for a video. I'm going to go ahead and let you guys know because this monster also introduces Dark Hater, which is new. So in conclusion, basically this monster is a dark and light hater, or dark and light attacker, which has a Dark Hater with him. He introduces that as a status caster, so it's pretty cool. So basically he gains another triple damage there, so it's basically a free triple damage against dark monsters, which is pretty cool. So anyways, as you used to see, we have, I don't know what this book is, we're gonna actually take a look at this in the next page, but we have this book, we have, I believe that's Dwellers, and then we have Good Legions and Multiversal. So in terms of Team Wars, you only have 2 books, unless this one's also in Team Wars, which I've never seen before, but it might be. But if so, then you have 3 books, and then you have the 2 elements, obviously. So it is part of the Multiversal, and it is a mythic monster, obviously not an ancestral. But let's go ahead and take a look at the stats at level 150. You get about 1.2 million life. You guys can see the exact life: 41,808 power, 21,248 speed. Now the speed and power is actually pretty good. I like it, pretty solid. But then when it comes down to life, his life is a bit slow, I would say. I mean, not slow, but it's a bit low actually. So I'm not really a huge fan of the life. I think the life could have been better, but it's okay because when it comes down to this, I mean, you could always just go ahead and slap in some mutated runes. So if you have like mutated speed or strength runes, which is definitely what you're going to be running on this monster because it's an attacker. So what you could do is do 2 strength and 1 speed, or 2 speed and 1 strength, but make sure they're mutated with life. Or if anything, you can actually run a rainbow setup as well. That would work for this monster. You could do like 1 speed, 1 strength, and 1 life, and maybe they could be mutated with like life and speed, maybe, or life with strength, for example. That would also work out. So I'd highly recommend doing something like that in terms of runes, because again, the life is a bit low. But let's take a look at the traits. Traits, you have I believe that's hardened, and then you have immune to control as a trait, and then rank 3 Dark Hater status caster. Now the Dark Hater will actually eventually run out, but I'm sure he actually has it as a skill too, but we'll go ahead and take a look at it in a bit. So overall, in terms of traits, I actually like the traits. I think that's pretty cool. I do wish that he had like some sort of like maybe dodge area or something else as well. Like that would have made this monster a lot better. But I would say it's worth picking up for even like Team Wars, for example, or PvP, especially Team Wars though. I think this monster could be used for sure. Let's take a look at the skills here that we have. So first skill gives 50% of stamina to all allies, stamina regen to all allies, and damage boost to all allies. Now this is something that he actually kind of needs because this monster has double sword relics, in case you guys didn't know. I'm not sure why they didn't give him 1 sword and 1 mask, because he's literally running like his like outfit is literally a knight, basically. Like he's a knight, you see. So I kind of wish he had a mask. That way you can actually give him like a Tetuman's mask or Torvox's mask to regenerate stamina, but he has double sword, which doesn't make sense because he's not even carrying 2 swords. You know what I mean? Normally when a monster has 2 swords as relics is when the monster is literally carrying 2 swords in their design, but this monster only has 1 sword. So I just don't understand that, unless he has maybe like a pocket knife or something, which I don't see. But anyways, I really like the design though. That design is really cool. I do like it. So yeah, anyways, I would say it's worth running if you want to run it. You do get a damage boost out of it as well, not just stamina. But then you have this strike skill, which is an insane light damage to an enemy. Now this insane light damage is probably like 75 to 80% of damage output, so damage output's actually pretty good so far. And then we have this skill right here, which gives triple damage for itself for 1 turn, and Dark Hater as well. So you're going to be basically gaining 400% damage boost, so triple plus under triple, because again, Dark Hater gives you a triple damage against dark monsters. So you're going to be instantly eliminating that dark monster, no matter who it is, depending on obviously the level of this monster or runes you have. But let's say if it's maxed out with the best runes, obviously you're going to want to have the monster. Anyways, this last skill right here, we have a moderate light damage to all enemies, apply sunburn to all enemies, and light weakness to all enemies. Okay, I do like this. I think this is cool. The fact that you're doing the moderate light damage, that's a really nice AoE, probably like a 40-45% AoE, I would say. And then you're applying a torture as well. So finally we have a torture that you can actually apply with light weakness as well. So that's some pretty cool stuff. Now it's worth, you know, kind of mentioning all the other skills that are also in this page and taking a look at the relics and everything. So take a look at this. Like I said, relics, you have double sword. Again, it doesn't make sense, but we have the double sword, so I guess we gotta deal with it. That's one of the cons for this monster. Unfortunately, he won't be able to regenerate stamina with the relics. But it's okay because you can either run one of the skills that gives you stamina, like the one mentioned on the other page that we went over, or you can actually pair it up alongside Albinasa or another monster. Especially Albinasa, I think that's going to be one of the best monsters you can actually pair up, because you're going to be benefiting from the Dark Hater triple damage, and then you're also going to be benefiting from his triple damage normally. And then another thing is, you know, Albinasa could give you another hater as well, which would be really cool. I think this monster could be a really good pair up with that, and Albinasa could literally just, you know, regenerate stamina for you because of the relic slots. The relic slots on that monster is good. So I would say that would be a very good duo. You can actually, you know, combine those two. Would be a really good duo for sure. Maybe a Sky Cold or Gunbane on the side would be cool too. But yeah, that would be a good pair up, I would say, for sure. But yeah, relic slots, guys, I would say if you don't look at it that way, where you're like, oh, I really need stamina, but then if you take care of that stamina part, the double sword is still pretty good. That makes them even more powerful. So you can run two swords and you're gonna, you know, basically deal a lot more damage with the sword that you're running, and even buffing up your power as well. So some decent relic slots, but could have been better if maybe there was an Essen or, you know, some type of like a banner or mask for sure. But anyways, guys, yeah, like I said, rank 0 you have Hardened and Fugitive Hater, which will run out after this current bounty hunt. Keep that in mind. But for the books, we have Free Reigns, Wielders. Oh, so it's not Dwellers, it's Wielders. Oh, okay, I got it wrong then. All right. Okay, so we have Free Reigns, Wielders, and Good Legions. So let me know in the comments down below if you guys have seen this book in Team Wars. I haven't personally seen it, but I've seen Wielders for sure, unless I'm mistaken it with a different one. Anyways, basic attacks: Hoplite Soul, which is a moderate light damage one enemy. That's a 0 cooldown skill that you can run with 22 stamina cost. Obviously you need the stamina, but you can spam as much as you want if you get hit with cooldown activation. So something to kind of like note, if you want to run this, it would be something you could probably consider. Anyways, I don't think anybody's gonna run this low dark damage. Nobody's gonna run it, so ignore this. We have this soul skill, which is a 50% of stamina to itself and stamina regen. Nobody wants to run this either. I know it's 0 cooldown, 0 stamina cost, but honestly, I think that this skill right here is actually a better choice. Anyways, we have this touch skill, which is a very heavy light damage to an enemy and applies sunburn. So another torture skill, but it's the same torture. So it looks like so far sunburn is the only torture this monster can actually apply. Besides his ultimate, I see his ultimate right here. It's a massive light damage to all enemies. Nightmares comes with it, and fear as well, alongside sunburn. I think that ultimate's pretty cool. I do like that, especially if you benefit from like Dark Hater or some other type of hater, or the triple damage on top. You could definitely deal a lot of damage to the enemies if the path is open for you. But anyways, in my personal opinion, I think that the 4 skills that you should actually run, or something to consider, would be definitely his most powerful AoE skill, which is actually 2-turn cooldown, 40 damage. I was wrong. So it's not 45, but it's actually 40 damage. The stamina costs aren't actually that bad, by the way. Let's quickly talk about the stamina costs. The stamina costs are actually pretty good. I am not disappointed by this monster. I thought that the stamina cost would be too high. Normally they mess it up here and there, where like if the monsters is super good, then, and you know, they can't really regenerate stamina anyway because of their relics, then they mess up with the stamina costs or cooldowns or whatever. But with this monster, it's actually not bad. Look, the only highest cooldown, which I personally think it's actually average, the 3-turn cooldown, it's moderate, right? So 3, 2, 1, 2, 1, and 0s, right? So I think that this monster's cooldowns and stamina costs are actually pretty good. I think that the 4 skills you should actually run would be the strength skill, which is his AoE light damage skill right here. This is definitely worth running. Another skill you can run is the triple damage with Dark Hater, in case if your Dark Hater runs out, or if this monster is not ranked up high enough where you don't have this skill unlocked yet. You can actually, or sorry, not skill, but status caster, if you don't have the Dark Hater unlocked yet, since it's at rank 3, you can actually go ahead and apply it as a skill. So these 2 skills so far you should actually run. And then obviously you need a single light damage that's insane. This is, by the way, 70 75%. Wow, that's amazing. So 3 skills so far that you can actually run, and last but not least, you can either do this Warcry skill, which gives you 50% of stamina and stamina regen with damage boost, or you can actually mix and match with either this very heavy light damage, which is a 1 turn cooldown, 32 stamina cost. Again, this is 60 damage, which is actually not bad. So you can carry basically 2 single targets that will deal a very good amount of damage, or if not, you can actually run a 0 cooldown skill in case if you get hit with cooldown activation. But for the most part, honestly, if I had this monster and I had to like use this monster in my team, what I would do is I would actually do these 2 skills, so tier 3, and then I would do maybe tier 2. These 2 tiers. If I want to swap this one out, I would actually swap it out with either the Helios Touch or Hoplite Soul. Hoplite Soul, sorry. But yeah, honestly, it's a very good monster. I actually like it. I think this monster has potential outside of just bounty hunt. Finally, we have a monster where he actually has some type of potential outside of bounty hunt. We haven't had that in a very long time, I feel like. But yeah, good monster. Would I recommend investing in it? Heck yeah, it's a good monster. But yeah, you just gotta make sure you pair it up with the right monsters, though, for sure. Albinasa would be a good one, like I said, or any other one like damage boosters. He doesn't even need damage boost, by the way. He has damage boost himself. He has a ton. He has his Dark Hater. He has his triple damage, obviously. The light weaknesses also give him an advantage with the swords, obviously, but I would say it's still pretty good, like a good idea to run it alongside another monster that would give you some type of support, you know what I mean? Either give you stamina, like Kin 11 would be really good, or Albinasa or any of the other monsters, like I said, would be good for this monster. So overall, a good monster. The runes I've already mentioned which runes to give. Obviously, rainbow setup, 2 strength 1 speed, or 2 speed 1 strength would also work out, or even do triple strength for this current bounty hunt, obviously, so you can deal the maximum amount of damage. In terms of sword, you can actually run almost any sword for this monster. Laser beam sword, king sword would be like in the lowest category. There's Duke sword and almost any of the swords in the new ancestral like category, basically. So besides all that, I do like the monster. I think he has potential. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think, and that's gonna be pretty much it. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you guys next one. Peace out.